Jack Teixeira, right? Am I saying that right? Is it Jack Teixeira?
Junior member of the U.S.
Wait, hold on. He'll say it right in a second. Teixeira? Jack Teixeira is appearing in U.S. court, and he is charged over the Pentagon leaks. We're going to talk about that right now.
U.S. National Guard has just appeared in court in Boston to face espionage charges over a huge leak of secret government documents. Jack Teixeira, who is 21, was arrested by FBI agents yesterday. The material reveals sensitive intelligence on topics including the war in Ukraine. And these some of the pictures from the last few minutes with family members and others and the legal teams leaving the court in Boston. In the last 45 minutes or so, that news emerging that that whole court appearance has been completed. The key line was the charge, of course, charged with unauthorized removal and retention of classified documents and materials. And we know that he will be detained pending trial. Not quite clear in terms of when exactly that trial will be slated for, but certainly he will be detained pending trial, and he has been allocated a public defender. But that court appearance happening as, of course, all the media flocking round the family members and the legal teams firing questions, and so many questions there are of how this 21-year-old was able to access the level of sensitive documents that we actually saw. We know a little more about it.
That's his dad, bro. That's not him. His dad also works at the base, though, or his stepdad, sorry. He has a stepdad and a stepbrother that also works at the same base. I believe his stepbrother might even have like a higher level of clearance as well. So, yeah, I mean, listen, do I think this story is funny? Absolutely. I think it's great. Free my man. I don't give a fuck what his political perspective is, okay? He didn't do nothing wrong, okay? What did he do? He wanted to do some grooming on some Discord kittens, you know what I mean? In the right-wing kind of way, though. So, of course, the right is going to defend him. No matter what happens, they will defend him because, again, remember, it's okay when they do it, guys. It's okay when they do it. Now, his intentions are not like pure or just, obviously, but even then, you know, leaking CIA operations and top secret CIA documents, I am not going to get mad at that. Okay? I'm not going to get mad at that.
He is 21. He is a member of the U.S. Air National Guard. He was listed as a member of the intelligence wing of the Massachusetts Air National Guard. And we also have documents filed by the U.S. government confirming that he has held top security clearance since 2021. And according to our CBS partners, he joined that U.S. government department, the U.S. Air National Guard, back in 2019. So more of the details coming in all of the time. We'll return to those pictures around the court. Very fluid situation there. But I've been talking to Jess Parker in Washington, who's also, of course, monitoring what is happening. This is her latest assessment.
Been getting news from the court in Boston. As you've been outlining, what we're hearing is the suspect, Jack Teixeira, has been charged with unauthorized removal and retention of classified documents and materials. That from a US magistrate judge, and we're told as well that he'll qualify for a public defender. There were reports earlier that it wasn't actually clear if the suspect had a lawyer, and we're told as well.
Bro, it is, I'm sorry, dude, you're like a journeyman IT guy at a fucking military base. It's mind-boggling to me that you have access to this level of data. Like, it's crazy. That's crazy. What the fuck is the military doing? The most powerful military on the goddamn planet, the most expensive military on the goddamn planet, owned by a dude that wants to do Discord memes. Like, literally, that's an IT guy, man. That's a fucking IT guy. How did that happen?
That the U.S. Justice Department has requested that he be detained pending trial. So some breaking lines out of the court this morning here in the US. Of course, it was only yesterday that we got those quite dramatic pictures.
He even has put out videos on how to beat LRADs, and the police came after him. Wait, what? This guy is not the same guy. What are you talking about? Hasan, he needs the juice. Please, his videos are terribly unwatched. What are you... Bro, I thought you were literally talking about the dude on screen, man. Jesus fucking Christ, like...
Emerging of an arrest as FBI officers swooped down to arrest the 21-year-old suspect. He was just dressed in a short pair of shorts and a T-shirt, arrested, as we understand it, near the family home, and now quickly to court this morning to face those charges.
Jess, we're seeing some of those pictures now in terms of what you've described.
I agree it's funny, and I agree he shouldn't go to prison, but you don't think we should draw a line between leaks for journalistic and whistleblower purposes and leaks for winning Discord argument purposes? I think advocating for this weirdo undercuts activism for more serious leakers like Chelsea. Well, the reality is that like more serious leakers like Chelsea will probably be punished more severely too. That is the other side of it. Like, I think it's different, but ultimately I don't think that, like, first of all, I don't even think deterrence or punishment is a good deterrence for crimes in general. This is before we even talk about whether or not this should be considered a crime at all. So, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think it's weird to... I don't think this is in any way, shape, or form similar to what Chelsea did, right? Clearly, I don't. But do I think that it's unintentional, intentional? Does it serve like a relatively decent purpose at the end of the day? I think so. You know what I mean? No way. He did it for clout on fucking Discord. No, I know he did. I know. I don't know why people are saying things that I know about it already. I'm just talking about like his intent versus his actions and versus what happened. Okay. The unintentional consequences of his actions is not something that I have a issue with. How do you think this compares to Trump and his docs? Why are you advocating for people to be able to leak classified info in general? I mean, I want to know. I want to know what the military is saying versus what the military is actually doing. Don't you? I pay for it. You know, I'm a record-breaking taxpayer in this goddamn country. You know what I mean? I want to know. I'm paying for it. What are they doing with it? The only issue I have is that if you don't redact certain aspects of the things that you're leaking, like, I think that there is some criminal components here, just not the ones that like the media or the government is focusing on. For example, when you leak information like this on a Discord server and it's like completely unvetted by a journalist or a third party that can like hide certain key parts of the information, you can potentially put innocent civilians at risk, right? I think that there is a reality to that. And that is something that could be punishable and should be punishable, as a matter of fact. So the way that he leaked this information is what makes it punishable, because he's a fucking dumbass. But if he had done this by sending it to a fucking, instead of a Discord server, sending it to a fucking journalist, ultimately, that would be good. That would be not a bad thing. That would be a good thing. I am always going to be an advocate for leaking information about the government to journalists. Keith made me, you work. I talked to the guy the other day. He said Joe Biden getting him off. You work for the government. True. Anyone unwilling to post a little classified info in the Discord to impress strangers, you are fake and a fraud. Yeah.
But the Pentagon a little earlier talking about why someone like this, a 21-year-old, would have access to the sorts of documents he had, talking about a review. But I mean, in terms of understatement, that really takes the biscuit, doesn't it?
Yeah, look, I think the Pentagon, the US government, facing some pretty serious questions now about...
This is such a weird take, dude. This is a weird way of getting that info, though. Wanting to know where your money is spent is not the same as being okay with top secret info being leaked. Well, let me clarify further. As long as key elements that pertain to civilian safety are redacted, I'm always in favor of top secret information being leaked. How about that? Is that good? That's my opinion. I think America is a warmongering international global superpower that is doing a lot of death and destruction all around the world. Our politicians lie about those actions. Our military lies about those actions. I would like to know what the truth is. As long as it's not leaking private information that pertains to civilians, citizens, unrelated people that could be put in harm's way as a consequence of that, then I don't care. You know what I mean? Good. It's a good thing, I think, in my opinion. Transparency is a good thing. I don't know why you're like, nah, man, keep it a secret. Fuck that. You're crazy. So, in my opinion, the main problem with the Discord leak overall is the way that it was done. And I guess the intent behind it was so stupid. And the way that it was done was so fucking stupid that there was nothing that was redacted. It was just like straight up uploaded photos. Does that make sense? Al sen istediğini söyle. Yok. Anyway.
About how the suspect may have accessed these documents, which is alleged, of course, that they were posted online amongst a kind of pretty small group of gamers from different parts of the world. And eventually the documents, it's reported, escaped that smaller group and began to leak more widely. Now, yes, we're being told that the Pentagon is going to review how highly secretive, highly sensitive information is distributed. But it's not as if we haven't talked about these kinds.
I think like one of the worst aspects of this is that like we very quickly moved on from the leak and what the leaks pertained to how this guy was arrested, why the government fucked up. Like, I want to know what the juice was. You know what I mean? I want to know what kind of information they had, what kind of intel they had on China. Like, they had a U-2 balloon, a U-2 spy plane that literally took an aerial photo of the Chinese balloon. They had access to, like, literally what kind of photography that the Chinese balloon took. Anyway.
Of issues before. There have been quite high-profile cases in the last 15 years of leaks out of the US. And so I think it won't just be a question for the Biden administration, for example. It will be more systemic, looking at how this has happened. And the US networks, watching them this morning, constant sort of security experts coming on, being asked again and again, how could somebody who was relatively young potentially, possibly have access to this kind of information if they were also quite junior in their rank as well? Of course, the 21-year-old.
Yeah, let's rehash it all for our enemies. Cool idea. Yeah. No, literally, I do want to do that. Yeah. And I think you should be able to do that, as a matter of fact, because it's like, because, you know, free speech. I think it's, you know, knowledge that the public should have. U.S. intelligences may change how they monitor social media chat rooms. Yeah, see, this is what I mean. It's like, it's going to get so much fucking worse for even you chatters. Ukraine war. Leak shows Western special forces on the ground. That's crazy. Shocking. Shocking to me. According to the document dated 23rd of March, the UK is the largest contingent of special forces in Ukraine with 50, followed by fellow NATO states Latvia 17, France 15, the US 14, and the Netherlands 1. The document does not say where the forces are located or what they're doing. The number of personnel may be small and will doubtlessly fluctuate, but special forces are, by their very nature, highly effective. Their presence in Ukraine is likely to be seized upon by Moscow, which has in recent months argued that it is not just confronting Ukraine, but NATO as well. That's weird. What are they doing in Ukraine, you guys think? What do you guys think the NATO forces are doing in Ukraine? I thought that was like not Article 5. So shocking to find that information out. I mean, I'm sure they're just hanging out, you know? Probably the push for a ceasefire negotiations. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. On Thursday, April 6th, logs show Teixeira used his work computer to search classified intelligence for the word leak. Per criminal complaint filed in Massachusetts District Court, Jack Teixeira has been charged with unauthorized retention and transmission of national defense information, unauthorized removal and retention of classified material. Per affidavit filed by the FBI agent Patrick Lukenhoff of the Washington Field Office, Counterintelligence Division states, images in Teixeira's leaks appear to depict documents used to inform senior military and civilian government officials during the briefings of the Pentagon. A user Teixeira's server told the FBI that Teixeira began posting what appeared to be classified information around December 2022. Oh my God, he was posting for so long. And photographs of documents around January, the affidavit states. The FBI affidavit cites a specific document mentioned by the user to describe the status of the Russia-Ukraine conflict and was based on sensitive U.S. intelligence. The user interviewed by the FBI said Teixeira told him he worried about being discovered taking notes on the classified documents at work. So he began taking the documents home and photographing them. Oh my God. Oh my God. The user told the FBI, he just took it out, dude. That's awesome. The user told the FBI details about Jack gleaned from their conversations on Discord. User one also described to the FBI his interactions with the individual posting under the subject username. In the course of those interactions, user one learned that the individual posting under the subject username called himself Jack, appeared to reside in Massachusetts, and claimed that he was in the United States Air National Guard. User one described that the individual posting under subject username is a white male who was clean-cut in appearance between 20 to 30 years old. And then they got his name from Discord records. Lol. Imagine thinking you're private on Discord. Lol. Okay. U.S. government logs show Teixeira accessed the Ukraine war document in February, one day before he posted to his friends on Discord. On Thursday, April 6th, log shows Teixeira used his work computer to search classified intelligence for the word leak. The public reporting regarding the government information appeared on or around April 6, 2023. Accordingly, there is no reason to believe that Teixeira was searching for classified reporting regarding the U.S. intelligence community's assessment of the identity of the individual who transmitted classified national defense information, include the government document. Yeah, he was very smart. Brilliant OPSEC on his behalf. Brilliant OPSEC on fucking, on behalf of the U.S. military. So glad that we give like $7 gorillion fucking dollars to the military every year. And then, this is what they got. This is what they got going on. I love and respect that, okay? I love that. At least we found that out about where our motherfucking tax dollars are going. You know what I mean? In line with its standard policy on such matters, the UK Ministry of Defense has not commented, but on a tweet on Tuesday said the leak of alleged classified information had demonstrated what it called a serious level of inaccuracy. Readers should be cautious about taking at face value allegations that have the potential to spread misinformation, it said. It did not elaborate or suggest which specific documents it was referring to. However, Pentagon officials are quoted as saying the documents are real. One document, which detailed the number of casualties suffered in Ukraine on both sides, did appear to have been doctored. UK Special Forces are made up of several elite military units with distinct areas of expertise and are regarded to be among the most capable in the world, 007 being one of them. That's right. The British government has a policy of not commenting on its special forces, in contrast to other countries, including the United States. The UK has been vociferous in its support for Ukraine, and is the second largest donor after the U.S. of military aid to Kyiv. Very nice. The bigger question is, why would the United States government give anyone with a Discord account top secret clearance? Sounds like an automatic disqualification for me. I mean, there will be like really funny rule changes that don't actually address the major problem. But they will probably have rule changes like that. Like, that's not even a joke. Like, they probably will literally be like, yeah, going forward, if you have a Discord account, like, you can't. Like, that'll be a part of, like, getting your level of, like, security clearance. No gamers. No War Thunder. Don't worry, everybody. Discord servers will still be heavily weaponized to stalk your favorite female content creators and do cum tributes to them. You know what I mean? That's what Discord is really for. It's not for leaking classified intelligence. It's for having arguments with people and then creating a splinter Discord because you don't have any friends in the real world. So you got to focus on making friends on the internet and then flexing on those friends that you made on the internet by inevitably leaking classified intelligence. Okay? How you know that? What do you mean? I'm a fucking content creator on the internet. I'm on Twitch. It's the most like Discord-centered media platform on the fucking planet. The entire community has some level of neuroatypicality, neurodivergence, and they all gather around fucking Discord. Anyway, bro, did you just talk in the hashtag Pray channel? Cringe. Yeah. Gets fan base, makes fun of them. I mean, I'm very much a part of the fan base, so anything I say, I'm making fun of myself as well. Exactly. Like this person gets it. He said, takes one to know one. Exactly. I would never have this level of fucking detail and knowledge if I wasn't also a freak. Okay? That's it. And plus the other side, the cyber stalking side, I have to know about because, again, more often than not, my friends and myself included are victim to these kinds of things. So.
Suspect a very young age, so lots of questions being asked, and I suppose over the coming days and weeks then more of these questions may be answered, but it has been an embarrassing episode for the United States, certainly.
Yes, you alluded to it, but I mean, plenty of warnings with Chelsea Manning and Edward Snowden in the past. So the obvious question of how something like this could happen again.
Thank you, please, Nuke Hoscore, for the 10
But perhaps this time it is slightly different because he's not a whistleblower, he's not a foreign agent, he's not discontent or sceptical about the US government. This appears to be just a 21-year-old effectively showing off.
Yeah, I mean, that is certainly...
This part seems weird to me. Like, it does. It seems a little weird to me that it's just like a dude who wanted to show off to his fucking friends. Like, I don't get that. I don't understand that. I don't know how to describe it.
The kind of reports that we have been getting out of in the last few days. So this suggestion...
It is not if you're familiar with War Thunder leaks. No, I am familiar with War Thunder leaks. That part does make sense to me because it's like specifically directed. War Thunder leaks didn't happen because someone was like trying to flex. It happened because they were literally fighting against one another. And the level of classification for War Thunder leaks was nowhere near what we're talking about here. War Thunder leaks happened because people basically were arguing on the missile systems and I believe like the real life, the real life capabilities of a F-16. That was literally like, the most A-worded engineering argument that you could have had. And that's why it happened, because people were like demanding that there be more accurate planes in their fucking milsim. Yeah. That and what they leaked in that circumstance wasn't even like technically the same. It wasn't the same level of classification as like ongoing war and U.S. surveillance efforts. You know what I mean?
That the suspect, as I mentioned before, was part of a kind of online group of gamers where they took part in a number of kind of activities together, including, for example, praying together, playing games, watching films. And suggestions have been from friends on that group in reports here in the US that maybe...
It's along the same lines as people insulated online communities who dox people or stream snipe to show off, except this time it's classified international conflict instead of a streamer's location. Yeah, no shit. So it is very different. Yeah, exactly. One is the American military, the most mighty fucking, the most capable institution on the fucking planet. The other is like a random streamer. You know what I mean? With pretty much no defense against that kind of thing. It's just a matter of access. The mentality is the same. I mean, I guess, but never catch me in the hashtag pray channel.
Be the suspect.
Yeah, that's right. If you prayed a little bit harder, maybe you would have classified intelligence in your hands.
But was just almost trying to impress the other young men on this group. So no suggestion really at the moment of some sophisticated foreign agent operation.
I genuinely don't know. Is A-worded a meme here, or do we not say the A-word? Autism? No, we say it all the time. It's a meme.
So again, yes, that does raise questions. It does, I think, again, cause some embarrassment for the US government.
That's Jessica Parker talking to me as news of those charges.
Okay, let's watch this.
FBI arresting a young, low-ranking Air National Guardsman yesterday for the huge leak of top-secret Pentagon documents online. His name is Jack Teixeira. He's 21 years old. He will appear today in federal court. News helicopters captured the moment that an FBI SWAT team arrested him at his mother's house in Massachusetts. You can see Teixeira walking backward with his hands on his head before agents take him into custody with their guns drawn. He was an IT specialist for a military intelligence unit on Cape Cod. U.S. officials tell CNN he was also the leader of a small private online group of video gamers.
I feel like saying specialist makes this more serious. Like, his position was not in any way special, from what I understand. Like, he was like a regular old IT guy at the base. He was an IT guy, which, by the way, Listen, this is what fucking happens. That's his rank? No, I thought he was I thought he had a different rank. I thought it was like some kind of like IT what was it? Like IT transportation journeyman or something? Like it's that's his rank. Specialist is a low rank. I thought it was what was his actual fucking I guess I'm mistaking his occupation. Well, IT specialist in the military makes it seem like it's more serious than it actually is. It's not. Like what he's doing is basically he's like a technician. He's doing IT. That's what he's doing. He's doing low level IT. That guy doesn't have a CCNA certification. That motherfucker just plugs in mouse and keyboards for boomers in the base. Yeah, he's an airman first class. That's his rank. Yeah, the Biden admin is also, yes, I already mentioned this, but yeah, the Biden administration looking at expanding how it monitors social media sites and chat rooms after the U.S. intelligence failed to realize that classified Pentagon documents circulated online for weeks. Officials briefed on the matter say, I prefer computer plumber from a computer plumber. I like that.
Where hundreds of highly classified U.S. intelligence documents were posted before they spread on social media. The leaks were seriously damaging. They were embarrassing for the United States. They included highly classified intelligence about the war in Ukraine and exposed how the U.S. spies on our own allies.
You mixed up his level and class, dog. IT is just IT. It's not that fancy, especially if he's low level. Yeah, no. Called an MOS, for example. Infantry is MOS.
Just heard from the Kremlin a short time ago. Vladimir Putin's spokesman says Russia is thoroughly...
Yeah, he's the cyber transport journeyman. Yes, that's the actual title that he holds.
Examining all of this leaked information. So let's learn a lot more about this with CNN Chief Law Enforcement and Intelligence Analyst John Miller and CNN White House correspondent Arlette Saenz. Guys, thank you very much for being here. John, let me go to you first. You have more reporting on how this was all planned and executed to arrest him.
This was a thing where this came together in 5 days, Poppy. I mean, this is like lightning speed
Fast.
For an espionage case. But
yeah, no, it literally came together in 5 days, but it was ongoing for like months. It was ongoing since December 2022. It just came together in 5 days because it left the original small Discord server that they had created and went into Wow Mao's fucking Discord server somehow. It got there, okay? And then it went to a Minecraft Discord server after that, and then it was over. It was everywhere after that.
when they figured out who they were going after and where he was, there's numerous pictures of him online with, automatic weapons, assault weapons. So, going into the house against a trained military person, where weapons are known to be there, was not their first option. They wanted him to go to work that day, get into a controlled environment, have him called down to the boss's office, sit down and say, we're the FBI, you're under arrest. But the New York Times showed up at his door. His name was published in the paper online. Things sped up. And the Boston field office of the FBI made the call, which is, okay, no more waiting. We're not going to hit the house either. We're going to do a surround and call out. You see that armored vehicle come down. You see the agents flank the house. They set a perimeter. And then a hostage negotiator calls into the house and says, my name's Bob. Jack, listen, we need you to come outside now. We need you to do it just this way. Once you come out the door,
this ain't
have
you,
your
brother.
hands up, and then follow the verbal instructions of the agents. Yeah. And when he came out, they could see he's unarmed, he's complying.
Can I ask you, look,
this
they're
ain't
gonna
who
arrest
you
him,
are,
do the
Jack.
thing, right? Police have their procedures, the FBI. How on earth? That is a question that everybody at home is asking.
Okay, finish the
How
question.
on earth did a 21-year-old low-level person get access to classified documents that have worldwide ramifications? It is mind-boggling.
It's a great question, but there's a great answer.
Okay.
So where he works, not a place that people usually talk about.
Okay, no, I think it originally starts, correct me, all the military guys in the chat, but I think it originally starts with, 1, neurodivergence, and 2, the ASVAB, or whatever fucking they use in the Air Force. I assume it's the same, okay? When you have certain qualities, okay, they immediately put you in IT and computer shit. Depending on how capable you are, they move you up the ranks on the computer stuff all the way to intelligence, okay? to higher levels of intelligence. So that's where it actually started, okay? My man he's a little bit A-worded, okay? He takes the ASVAB. They go, oh, you do computer stuff. You like computers. Okay. You're a $120 soaking wet. You're already in the fucking Air Force, National Guard. We're just going to put you on the computer stuff, okay? Like we did with everybody else. But with that kind of neurodivergence also comes, this is grossly inaccurate. No, not at all. This is grossly inaccurate. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Am I wrong, or do you feel attacked by what I said? Okay, why do people say grossly inaccurate and then they don't actually like correct me? I don't get it. I already said, I think it literally is because I started out by saying I might be wrong on this. Okay, and maybe that's the reason. Okay, but I want to know, it's wrong but funny, so it's a better story. Okay, give me the accurate story then. We know that the military looks for neurodivergence for all roles so they can control them. No, I mean, but there is definitely an element of that. I'm joking, obviously, but anyway. Most cyber doesn't even require high ASVAB score. I remember right, it's like 70 in general portion for how they combine the numbers. My dad is the president of the military. Yeah, I never said that you're supposed to be smart. You're the ones who associated what I said with intelligence, for the record, like actual brain intelligence. I never said that. I don't think this guy is particularly smart. If he was, he would have at least had a little bit of fucking, a little bit more OPSEC to not show his mother's kitchen counter when he's leaking like physical documents that he stole from the fucking military base. Okay? I never said that he's smart. He's in the military. Not a lot of people in the military are smart. Let's be fucking real. I mean, come on. It's kind of like the principle for the police force is identical. You know what I mean? It's like if you're too smart, maybe it's not great that you're in the military. That sort of thing. It's more about like dumb versus like really fucking dumb. If you're dumb, if you're really fucking dumb and you can actually shoot a bullet, you know what I mean? If you can shoot a gun well, then it's like infantry. Okay, there you go. Go off, have fun. You're dumb, young, and full of cum. But there's no place where like your actual level of intellect is a necessity. Anyway.
The 102nd Intelligence Wing. What's an intelligence wing? Mm-hmm. Those are the people who fly the drones. They're the people who are supporting the Delta Force and the Navy SEALs and regular warfighters in zones all around the world where they need that ISR, intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, and where they use those weapons, Predator drones, Reaper drones, Hellfire missiles, Javelins. And that means you don't know what theater you're going to be operating in as things around the world shift. So you need access to a lot of intelligence. But who is he? Mm-hmm. He's not a pilot flying the drones, although as a gamer, he probably was at home. At work, his job was really network engineering, which is making sure that that network that's taking in those pictures and that audio and that cyber data that they're stealing out of the airwaves is all working and connecting, which of course he's trained for. But to be good at it, he needs to have wide access through the system, because if something is going wrong here or there, then it's a question of, okay, where's the audit system to see why is he downloading this? Why is he printing that? And a lot of that is how they got to him, which is when was he working? What?
That is absolutely not how they got to him. This man is just straight up lying. No, they got to him from the other side, not from the side of like, they didn't fucking, if that's how they got to him, he'd already been tried in a fucking military court and we would have never heard about any of this, okay? No. They got to him after the fact, okay? And we know about the story because they didn't do that. What do you mean? He's making it seem like, bro, he literally made it seem like, yeah, the military has like definitely checks in place to make sure that like if there's any kind of mishandling of classified information, they do something about it.
Classified printer was it sent to? So there's pieces here, but there are thousands of kids like him who have just joined the military, who have enormous responsibility and trust, and who do a terrific job.
Well, let's talk about the president. He's traveling overseas in Ireland, but he was asked about this. Here's what he said in terms of his level of concern, which I should note is not a great level of concern about what was leaked.
Oh, I think they're saying that's how they verify. They might have verified him like that, I guess. Yeah, but I think that no. I think they just found him after. They had already found him. The New York Times found him, and then the military was like, "Oh shit, this is the fucking guy." Here is the extent of the leak. It seems like he did all this stuff.
Here it is.
There's a full-blown investigation going on, as you know, with the intelligence community and the Justice Department.
Yeah, I'll tell you what Joe Biden said. He said, "I heard this guy is white and Christian, which means he deserves jail sentences that I only give to white Christians, Jack." That's right.
And they're getting close. I'm not concerned about the leakages, and I'm concerned that it happened. But there's nothing contemporaneous that I'm aware of that is of great consequence.
What more do you know about this behind the scenes from your reporting?
Yeah, you know, the president right there really tried to downplay the severity of this leak, but you can't deny that it is of great consequence, the fact that these leaks actually happen. And we know that the administration top officials have been working throughout the week trying to reassure allies about who might be concerned about the fact that intelligence from the U.S. has gotten out there on the internet to the wide public. We know that Blinken has spoken with his people in Ukraine.
Network software engineer here. You are correct in your assumption. I get flagged in a private company for accessing personal email or putting in a USB fan. A reserve base probably is last in line for upgrades and is probably on bare bones tech. Yeah.
They've also
Bamboo Tambu, thank you for the 5 gifted subs.
Unnamed allies so far. But what we're also going to see play out in Washington over the coming weeks and months is these just reviews, and there's certainly going to be congressional hearings.
Yeah, Joe Brandon's like, I heard he's Protestant. Jail time for all Protestants, Jack. That's what we're doing out here.
How exactly the Pentagon handles this type of classified information. We know that Lloyd Austin, the defense secretary, said they're going to review how they deal with classified intelligence access. But it certainly has been an embarrassing moment for the country to just have the world know that once again, there has been a leak. And we've seen this repeated over and over when you think back to Edward Snowden and Chelsea Manning. And so there are some safeguards that probably need to be put in place to ensure things like this don't happen.
I bet there's some scrambling going on at the upper levels going, okay, now who's this person? Who's this person? Who has access to this? I'm sure they're
going to call down those lists, but, you know, the operational people are still going to need it.
Thank you, John. Thank you, all.